we've got, the more votes we have, and the more voices we have, the more likely we are, because we've got to be the dominant amount of people in Region C. Now, there's some big clubs in C. There's the HCU, and there's a Brandon team, and there's the guys from Clearwater. But if you add up all the other numbers, it dwarfs those three clubs, and those three clubs don't necessarily have immunicable interest to us. Also, they've got a lot of the same questions about our state organization.
Ortiz, what club are you with?
There's a lot of feedback again.
North Lakeland Youth Soccer.
Thank you very much.
No problem, sir.
Will you be the contact at North Lakeland from here on? The best contact out there?
Yeah, you can use my name, definitely.
Well, we want to get a good communication. We want to, a lot of times when we're doing this, as we're moving forward, we're trying to find people to talk to get with whatever it is, whether we got something going on or what.
Definitely my name can be used.
Okay, yeah. That's all we need is a conduit for your club to get, like this year we're going to put on we're going to have some of these, regional, what do you call them, Greg? They're
Showcases.
College showcases. So if we can get directly to you and directly to guys like Juan, then you guys all know, and that word goes down better in your club to say, hey, anybody that's aspirational that wants to get in front of the college coaches and see what this is, we'll get to do it. We send an email, that's okay, but when we actually can talk to somebody, our success rate is much higher as far as these type of events.
That sounds great. And again, my name can definitely be.
All right.
Yeah, make sure it's someplace on a club forum page or something. So that
Greg, you'll follow up and make sure you've got that.
Yeah, when we're looking for the club contacts, we'll have him. Drew, who are you with?
North Lakeland, yeah, Ortiz is.
Dunedin Sterling.
No, okay, you're with Dunedin? Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Drew.
Okay, Paul, we're ready to roll.
All right, let's open up the meeting. We're short. I think we're short of a right now of having enough members to have a quorum, but we can still get some of our business done. We really don't need many quorum votes tonight, I don't think.
I don't have the agenda here yet, though, Sherry.
I know. I'm sorry. I literally just walked in.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Can you pull it from the email?
I forwarded.
The main minute.
Yeah, let me see if I can get it.
I can post it, but it's gonna take me a minute.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
But you can't do it anyway. You don't have enough
Right there.
members to.
I got it right here.
Yeah. Sorry, I got held up in a.
Yeah, no worries. That's okay. All right. Let's, Paul. Let's do this. Let's look at the.
You don't have a quorum, so the votes don't matter. You can't approve the minutes. We'll have to go back and approve.
Oh, we can't approve the minutes either?
No, it's not legal. We can look at them for sure.
Okay, well, all right.
We got to have a quorum to do that, which we can do. This is typical of this meeting after the AGM. Usually it's pretty thin.
All right, well.
But let's go through the business end of it.
These are the minutes from last.
Right.
These are the minutes from the AGM. The only thing of importance, obviously, is the proposed bylaw changes.
Well, they went through or didn't go through. I mean, we're done with them, right?
They're up. Well, they're up on the screen. You can look at them.
All right. I think the one thing that we were surprised at, but that's all right, the forfeit for the no field marshal present. And that's okay. I mean, it doesn't pertain to that many events, but Greg and I, and we're talking about it. Alan, how you doing?
Doing good.
That's good to hear.
Okay, so we can't get these approved no matter how we look at it.
No, you don't have a quorum for that, so that's
fine.
okay. And we don't have a status. We know from the vice president reports, let's just get through it. We're setting up, the meetings are all set up for everyone out there. So take a look at the schedule as we have it. They're going to be the coaches' meetings, and that's where we're going to organize everything. The big difference this year, of course, is we're going to have that. We're going to have an under-8 league, depending on what it looks like from our members. We've been asked by numerous clubs to schedule that, so we're going to feel our way and see how many teams we got, who we have, where they are located geographically, and then we'll go from there. The rest of the ones, it's going to be the same format as we've always had it, except that this year the 9s and 10s, we will keep the scores, we will keep
Well,
relative.
what you're saying is we're going to try, because the referees of record are club referees, usually high school kids, and historically.
But we'll follow it up. We'll get it. I mean, we used to do it before. We had the 10s already, and we didn't have any real problem with them. Where we've got holes, I know Sherry spent a lot of time following up those things, and we'd like to avoid that if we can. But I think the problem with someone's going to have a brilliant idea how to get these referees to, more easily get us the results. It really is a pain in the ass having to run down and follow them up with every week. We have. Sherry's done an enormous amount of work behind the scenes and gotten most of them. And where we've got issues, in other words, where people claim that, they won a game or lost a game, we'll follow up on it. But it does eat up a chunk of our time and money, where Sherry's tied up rather than other things we could be doing, forward type of thing. That's all right. That's what we're here for. I mean, that's why this is a membership-driven thing, and we've just got to solve this together. And Greg, I think we did change the pay for that center. So now it's a $50 game, correct?
It's been a $50 game for seniors.
No, for the 9s and 10s.
Oh,
Or did we go to 35? I thought I went to 50 though. I thought we went.
No way. No, it didn't go to 50.
I actually have that added to the executive meeting because I needed to confirm those rates.
Yeah, well, what is it? Take a look at it right now, Sherry. See what the 9s and 10s, the difference was. We voted on it once, so we know we got them.
Okay, I'll have to look. I'll have to pull up.
Yeah. But
Well,
I mean, I think we've increased it by more than $10. I think it's 40. I say 50 though. I think that's what we went to. And so in other words, if we're paying more, let's hope we get people that care about it. It's an easy $50, no, $40. So it shouldn't be 13-year-old kids necessarily doing them all.
Well, that's going to be a lot for them too, because of the build out line and everything else and offsides.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's not 13-year-old kids. I mean, hopefully the increase in pay will get somebody to figure out that's good, easy money. The parents are a pain in the butt, but the kids are easy. So you really gotta you can do 2 of them and make what you make doing a regular center, a 16 or 18 center.
With half the running.
Yeah. So I mean, you're hoping to get people, but then the incentive should be greater, Greg, to get them to report the match.
Well,
I think the next thing is we take over assigning those games. That's what we got to do. If the clubs say, "Hey, you got to help us out here," then we'll try and assign it.
Well, first we have to talk with the assigners as to whether or not they want to take on that responsibility of.
Well, if they don't, we'll get someone to assign them. We'll get somebody else.
If it stays the same as the local club assigns those, we need to talk with those. I'll have a meeting with those assigners as well, and maybe they hold back $10 a game. And at the end of again, this is just for 9s and 10s.
Yeah, no.
And we hold back 10 in a game in a pot form, and when they turn all their cards in, they get their money back.
Well, that's up to the local clubs. Obviously, we don't pay those.
Right.
Don't pay them. But that's an idea. Some clubs may do it. Some clubs may not. But it's you've got to just get them to report. I know that's not simple, but it saves us an awful lot of time, and it's really the proper thing to do. If you're playing in the league, the results got to get back, and if we're going to keep track of the games, then we've got to get the scores, and we will. We've always done it. we've been doing this 30 years, and we've always been able to get enough of the scores that we need. We may not get every one of them, but we'll certainly try to. We get damn close to all of them. I mean,
Okay, where are we at here?
So, well, we're just going through. This is the old business. Joan Judd, we know. We gave out the awards. You guys had a ceremony. How many? There were. What were the four? Four
Five.
kids, 4 families.
5.
Oh, so all 5 families showed.
All
Okay.
5 showed,
Very
which
good.
was
And you had how many board members?
2.
All right.
Mike and Merrick showed.
And
And
you
that was
felt-
seriously, it was very nice. The interaction with the
If
parents.
I may ask, why was the switch that late? Not that it matters. It's just,
Maggiano's was sold out.
oh, wasn't
They
it?
bumped us. Yeah, I mean, ours was gratis. Ours was gratis, and they made an extra grand on the room, so they bumped it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But I'll tell you what, everybody was happy. The venue, very nice, very nice, very attentive. The food was good, but the interaction, because it's in that kind of place, was phenomenal. The feedback we got back from the parents and talking back and forth about issues and whatnot, it was kind of cool.
So we've talked to 4 or 5 people. I think Joan Judd is going to sunset if I get the sense from everybody that I was talking. At least 5 of the guys I talked to, that we're going to sunset that format and talk about trying to push more money per child, maybe 2 at 25 and maybe the second. So we award 4 now. But more money, especially in the first one, where it is, it matters. Where it's $2,500 is a significant amount for a kid to start out. So we'll be doing more good in more places. I don't think that was the original idea of the Joan Judd, but we can see from the interest we've gotten in Joan Judd that really what we're trying to do is to really get our athletes pushed forward. And if we put 10 grand into something like that, into 4 awards, maybe 3,000 each and then 2,000 each or something like that. We've got to do that probably in the next 3 months, or before we ask for the award. But I think that's the way we're going to go. Name or anything else, I got no idea. I'm not concerned about it for that. It's more, we're going to make it more service oriented, although it is service oriented now. Not scholarship. It's going to be more pointed toward soccer service and USA participation at a length of time. So it'll give some value to kids that have played for 6 or 7 years. That'll be an advantage for them for sure.
There's your referee fees up on the screen as they are today.
All right. So we just went today.
This is as they are today.
Yeah, but that's not what we had voted for to change them to.
No, I have not updated them yet.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm aware of what the new ones are yet.
We should have it in the minutes somewhere because we voted on it at least two things ago, right? 2 meetings ago.
I'll look back while you all are talking.
Well, I'll recreate it again. I've got to, no problem. Yeah, but see that center, Greg, that's going to go up.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
The 50 is going to go to 70
Agreed.
on the 15s to 19s, and then I think it's 70, 60, 50, 40. I believe that's the way the centers run.
That's fine.
So now they're going to get $40 a match, and it's shit. It's it's almost $1 a minute for the
Yeah.
nines and tens.
And we're not, well, that's up to the clubs as to whether or not they want to train kids and put them as ARs.
Whatever it is, the pressure goes to the club first to get the things in. However they want to do that's fine. And if they say to us this is too hard, then case by case we'll just decide if we want to help them by having our guys assign them.
Sure.
I mean, we stopped assigning those games because we diminished the competitive nature of it 7 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that, when it was the rage. And now that everything's come back, you realize that, that hasn't changed anything, and all it's done is really confuse the issues. So we're back with most of the members wanted wanted us to keep track of those games and keep and have standings, and
Okay.
not an issue.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So you're on
The applications are due for everybody out there. Sherry, I guess you'll email everybody also that they've got to get their applications in, yeah?
Yes, I'm putting together an email right now.
All right, great.
It's
And then-
actually available, but I just have to tell them it's available. They'll probably see it in their Got Soccer account.
Cool, all right.
But I just need to let them know. I was kind of waiting to get more club affiliation forms in, because that has to happen first.
Right,
But send a joint reminder,
yep.
probably tonight or by
Cool.
tomorrow at the latest.
We got the dates here and there for everybody. We have them on the website, the senior team applications, junior team applications, the coaches meetings, which are really important as far as the dates. And that was it. Now, I have here a tentative senior schedule. Alan, have you seen that?
Yes. Are we
What do
gonna?
you think of it? That's your good guys, your age group.
It's courting how many we have in each division. I mean, it's. I saw where we're looking at 10, 12, or 14. 10 wouldn't be bad if you could get it done before high school.
We're looking at adding two games on Sunday, Alan.
But that gets us, I think that gets us to 10
That gets us to 10.
Right.
I got
No,
you.
that-
or 12.
No, it gives us 12.
Wow, that gets you to 12.
That gets us to 12,
Sorry.
but it also puts us before the 14th, which most high schools got captain practices starting the second week of October, and they won't be doing anything with us from the second week of October on. So we can finish before the 14th. That would be fantastic.
Oh, I see the 30th, and I see the 2 dates. I was wondering where the 2 Sunday dates.
Yeah.
Now, would we schedule Sundays? If guys wanted a Sunday date, though, would we not schedule them themselves? If they say, hey, we need an extra game, we're going to pull it back, and we're going to do it on the 27th?
Well, they could, but the thing is, I have to put the game somewhere. You know what I mean? So,
You have to put a placeholder somewhere in there.
yeah, I have to. So the only way I can do that and finish before would be to put
Oh, yeah, I'm
dates on
sorry.
Monday.
You're right. Because we're going to schedule them all out, so you've got to have some tentative placeholder for
I
it.
have to put something. And then if they didn't like those dates, they could change, they could reschedule, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know, Alan, you got any ideas? I mean, or Sherry, as far as how to get 14 tentative dates?
Not really. I mean, there's just so many weekends.
And
What's the tentative starting date?
the 12th.
12. When's the AGM? FYSA.
That same weekend?
11th and 12th.
That doesn't work?
Well, that's not a big effect for us as far as the people not, I mean, the FYSA AGM,
Yes.
Yeah.
that doesn't stop the matches though. And when then none of us are really of the guys that go, there's only 5 of us that go usually. I mean, all of us.
But some of the coaches are
Very few.
involved, like myself.
Well,
Or
yeah,
myself.
I mean, where you got to make a choice where you're an administrator and a coach, but there's, in the whole scheme of things, this is AGM is an administrative thing now. Alan coaches, Mike coaches,
Yes.
Mark coaches, Brian coached. Who else? Alan, Steve coaches.
Well, I tell you what we can do is go ahead and schedule it for the 12th, and then whoever wants to
Yeah, that's
sit
right.
somewhere else, at least you give it the option of let's start it early.
Yeah. Because I think on the board we've got at least 5 or 6 guys coaching seniors and senior girls. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to make that decision, Les. But we can't hold it any longer. We were talking about we thought about going back to the
9th
I believe the 5th.
or 5th, yeah.
Well, I just thought it was too too fast beyond the meeting to get organized. That was the feeling. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Greg, are you looking for the dates? They're right. It's another attachment on that email that you have open.
Okay, sorry. That's what I was
Tentative
looking for.
game schedule up front, up top on the left.
Top left.
Okay.
Yep.
There you
So
go.
now, go back to the meeting. We've got the meetings on 7/1. No, I'm sorry. The meeting is on 7/22.
Right.
Right.
So that would leave a week and it would leave the second week you would be playing. It would leave you 2 weeks total, which you don't think there's time to adjust as slow as everyone is getting their field guys involved and everything else. Sherry, that 2 weeks is too tight, isn't it?
I think it's a little tight for referees and everything,
Okay.
but I think the 12th is 3 weeks. Is it
Yeah.
not?
12th is free. I'm thinking about if we went back to the 5th, we'd pick up an extra day.
Right. I think that's a little tight, honestly.
Yeah.
But
I do too. Well, knowing our members like I do, we usually are fairly slow getting that stuff out. In fact, you're usually recontacting some people 2 and 3 times to get their schedules in.
right.
2 weeks, 30%
I just
of
think
the
it
games.
could get a little
rescheduled 'cause they wouldn't have
complicated
them.
because the
Well,
refs
what
wouldn't
about
get
putting
it
2
early
more?
enough.
What about putting 2 more Sunday dates in there?
Where's the Sunday dates that I had in there, Sherry?
9, 10, and
I added them already.
10,
Oh,
1.
gotcha. There they are, 9, 10. Okay, my bad.
Well,
Yeah,
then
you
to
can,
get-
you could
get a
do that,
tentative-
take away the 12th and add another Sunday.
Well, to get a tentative 14, in other words, if you got a 8-team league and you're going to get 2 matches in, you're going to have to.
Are we going to push any into February?
Well, you can,
We're
but
trying
what
not
Sherry's saying, you understand what Sherry's saying is, as a placeholder to just get a schedule out,
Right.
you got to have those dates. Do we want to schedule?
Schedule.
Already
Yeah.
past the thing, and then we're locking them into that date in the spring. Or do we want them to do that?
What
Well,
happened to October 7th? Is there something going on there?
There's usually tournaments that weekend.
ACDC
Oh, okay.
and another one.
Is that Columbus?
ACDC,
Yeah.
TDU's big one,
It
yeah.
is.
Alan, the other reason about,
I don't get. I mean, how much does it affect 400 teams?
the ACDC tournament,
Yeah.
that one, and I think there's another one. There's 2 tournaments, 2 big tournaments that weekend.
Well, can we schedule for the 7th, and then if those teams are playing, let them book them back out?
Yep. Because, Greg, you're not going to pull. ACDC is not going to pull
No.
a couple of teams out of the thing, and they can reschedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll give us another weekend.
Yeah, the
That's
reason
good
we're-
for us.
The reason we're pushing the Sunday is so that we can do showcases in the spring.
Yeah. No, I mean, and the teams that need to reschedule their Sundays, let them do it. But yeah, go ahead and schedule Sundays.
Okay, that's because we were
Also, if
looking,
we drop the 7th in there, we only need to add 1 more Sunday.
Right. Right.
Am I correct? Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
people don't. The 3 Sundays too much.
Add it in August.
10. There's 10 play dates right there now.
Add a Sunday in August.
Mhm. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Either
Very
either
good.
the 13th or the 20th.
Yeah.
Maybe the 20th, just because they'll
20th.
still try
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do
yeah.
refs and
That
stuff.
sounds good. That sounds
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
good. What do you think?
So
Good
drop the
idea.
12th and add the 20th.
Well, not drop.
No. Don't drop the 12th.
Okay, just add the 20th.
Yes,
Add the
Yeah,
20th.
So that'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
14.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12 games.
That-
We need
then
14
you would
dates
eliminate-
tentatively, Les.
Huh?
We need 14 tentatively. Not everybody. See, Alan's point is, if you've got 6 or 7, you're not going to need those extra dates, so we can readjust. But before the meeting, when everyone comes together, we don't know how many teams are in that league.
Right.
The most you'll play is if you got a natural 8, which is always the preference. Then you'll get a 14 schedule, 1 home, 1 away. So if we have the 14, that's the max we'll schedule out and make a a date for them, basically.
Right.
So we'll get that if we do the 21st and 28th.
We think about this.
Right?
10, 11, 12, 13. You need 14 dates.
We're going to put in 10-7
And 8:20.
and 8:20.
Yeah, 10, 7, and 8:20. There you go. Yes.
5,
And
6,
use the
7.
21st to the 28th because,
Well-
again, some teams can get that in.
There you go. There you go.
And that'll give us 14
Yeah.
dates that Sherry can start with or the computer can start with.
Right. Right.
Now, is there a reason why we have September 9th versus September 10th versus another Sunday in September, like the middle of the month?
Well, we got one in August, one in September, one in October.
Can y'all put it in the middle of the month
October?
in September?
Well, it's the
It
10th.
is. It's on the 10th.
It's on the 10th, so it'd either be the 10th or the 17th.
I think 17th it makes it more middle. I was just thinking of spreading them out.
Fine by me. I really don't care, although that makes the difference, the 17th to the 1st tight.
Hold on.
If you got the 20th, Les, you got 20 days between the 21 days between the 20th and September 10th. 21 days. Then you'd have another, what is that? 20 days, 21 days?
Yes.
So if we left it at the 10th, we'd have 21 days from the last one and 21 days to the next one. Just 3 Sundays.
Okay.
Spaced 21 days apart if you left it as is. I think. Check that.
All right. So,
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
okay, Paul, read so I can get this down so I can post this. What are the dates again? We start 8/12.
8/12. Well, you got them
8/13.
right there. Look at them. They're right in front of you.
I'm looking at that. 8/13.
No. No.
8:20.
8/12.
No, we're not going to put the 13th.
No.
No. No.
Okay. All right. So we go 8/19 and 20
Correct.
Yes.
and 8/20. Then we got 9/09.
No. 8:26.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. 8/26. 9/09 and 9/10.
And Greg, 9:09, 9:10, 9:16, 9:23, 9:30, 10:01, 10:07, or 10:08. 10:08?
Well, 7 is Saturday,
7.
Oh, right. Sorry, yeah.
right?
Oh,
Yeah, there's only 30
Oh.
days. Correct.
turn
Well,
it.
that was Leslie saying. That's the 7th. That's correct.
Yeah,
10:07, 10:14, 10:21, 10:28.
got it. And I'll
if you
post
wanna
these on
jam
the,
this- Unless you want to jam one Sunday into October, that's the only other thing I could think that would be,
Oh.
rather than the 28th, you're working, I don't know, 15th.
9/23.
It's not going to work for everybody anyway, either way, any way we do it.
yeah. Let them make that choice when
Yeah,
they.
okay, good.
Sarah,
reschedule.
you got the dates. Send them to me when you get a chance.
I do, and I'm going to post them on the USA
Okay.
calendar.
All right.
All right, but
Now that I
that's,
know what
that's,
they are.
that's fairly simple. Mark, what do you think? You're involved in this too as a coach.
I gotta tell you, anytime I had a Sunday game, I would reschedule them to Saturday because it was really
Okay.
hard trying to get players to come on Sunday.
Okay. We just got to have a date. We can't have the dates in November. I mean, they really won't work. If you get the Sundays, you can reschedule as it is. If some guys can get a team together, then you get it over. You get the game in. You know.
Right.
Yeah, but I agree. It's Sunday's not perfect. You know, the other leagues do that though.
Yeah. Well, also my thoughts are that I noticed postseason play when the teams that played all their games at the beginning and had nothing when they came back from high school to seniors, they didn't fare as well later on. Whereas,
I would think so. I would think that's exact. I mean, this is almost designed to have you reschedule 2 or 3.
right,
Right.
But we'll let them do that. And I'll tell you, we're remarkably, like I look at it, I'm always frustrated by it. And I know how much work is going on behind the scenes to get those things because they say, well, I can't do it and they won't get in touch with me. But in fact, when you look at the end of the thing, you're missing like 2% of your games or something. They are tremendously successful as a percentage in rescheduling these matches so we get them in as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe we should shorten it. You know, last season we went all the way to the end of March, I believe, right?
Yeah, but I mean, why would you, let me just ask you, why would you want to shorten it? I don't.
Well, if you're going to play most of your games in the first half, and you only have 3 games in the second half, you don't want them like once a month or anything like that.
No, but I'm saying if you give guys the length of time they need,
Oh,
theoretically, they're going to get the game in before the 31st. The only guys that are going to be pushed to get it in there have exigent circumstances that make it so they want to get that last game in if they can. No.
yeah.
Do we have the region and state cup stuff? I know we had it someplace, the date someplace.
I believe I added them to the calendar.
They're on the
Yeah,
calendar.
what's his name? Didn't DeClio send a whole
Scroll up.
thing? Did he?
Go up. Keep going, right there. Underneath.
Yeah, one more. No, one more.
Right here, calendar.
Calvin.
I'm pretty sure.
I honestly think that it's very important to have that flexibility to get to the even into March, because it gives you a fantastic possibility to play with the schedule.
Yeah. Our problem in the past one has been, and it hasn't been major, but it's been you get knotty problems where people just are obstinate about it, is that they get close and then they run out of time, even for the 31st of March. And they start saying, well, we did. Well, say, shit, man, you knew for months you had to make the game up, but everybody stalls and looks, and maybe they got a kid hurt and whatnot. So that's the argument a lot of guys on the board, and I wouldn't disagree with them. I really don't have a strong opinion. Wanted to push it back. That's what Mark's saying, compress it so it forces everyone to make those decisions in February. You can get all your matches in February if you push 4 of them back.
Yes.
But we know we do have some that just, for one reason or another, can't get them in February. So we're giving them the time, the extra time. If 2 guys could say, yeah, we'll play in March, I'm great. I'd like to do that.
They're not going to play in February because of high school.
Right. Well, most of them are done in February.
Well, we had quite a few blowing on, and they didn't even know it. They didn't even know they had kids on their high school team.
That's correct. But I'm saying when you get to the percentages, Greg, you're still under 10%.
Well, my point is we need to put a date somewhere on this calendar that no games are played, so we can use that for the showcase weekend. No games are played.
Well, we'll decide that. We'll black that out as you try to put that together. But you got to come up with someone's got to come up with a date of the showcase. And I know that both Mark, you, and Kai were all
Right.
more involved in that than I am, for instance.
Right.
So
We need to.
you
And
got to kind of look and see what you think. Kai had a good amount of college coaches that he had contacted that were in some some things that somebody did. And
right.
so let's
But like I said, if we
the hospital again,
if we schedule into February and we let them reschedule into February and March, we don't have a day available.
Is March, Mark and Greg, is March the month that you schedule a showcase? Are there college coaches available in March?
They are. I can
Yeah.
tell you that
Okay.
because I am part of the staff of USF in the women's side.
Oh, really? Okay,
And
great.
So I know that during the spring we have our 5 games, but in general, unless something collides with one of the games of the spring, the coaches should be available.
That's what I know. The most depends when Easter is, but the colleges have those showcases usually in the first, second week of March, and that leaves the end of February available for the showcase. I want to get as close to the winter months as possible.
But don't forget, nobody will be setting any days at all
Right.
for 2 more months.
Understood.
So we're still got plenty of time.
Right.
But we need to come up with a date or two certain, like you said, and black it out right now.
Right, exactly.
And you cannot forget the CDL showcase. I mean, that is a powerful tournament, attracts a lot of teams, and to do the showcase so close to each other, I don't know if there's advantages.
When is that? When is the CDL showcase?
Usually it's like the second weekend of February.
But they won't allow any of our kids in anyway, Juan. Doesn't matter.
No, we
In other
do.
words, you're two
We have
different
played in
bases.
that tournament.
I don't know about the kids themselves. I mean, I don't know about the coaches, but the kids themselves, I don't think you got two different you have two different bases of consumers there, right? They aren't going to allow our kids. CDL does not have a showcase and let our kids in, as I know it. Is that true? Is that true?
No, you can register in the CDL showcase as
Oh,
any
right, for
other team.
anybody can.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no matter what, it's going to be close. It's going to be a couple of weeks. But Juan, you're kind of behind on this a little bit. Where last year we talked about Kai had an amazing, and I think it was somebody in South Florida. They had a list of the coaches they were bringing, and they really fit our kids better than having the University of North Carolina and Georgetown and Connecticut, because that's not where, if you really look at how many kids go to those schools out of all of the players in this area, it's 1%. It's infinitesimally small.
Yeah.
These other schools that Kai had looked at really were places kids could play. I mean, we're going to go play. And they were unexpected names. I mean, some of the ones I'd never heard of and didn't know, but they were the ones that really were looking for players of the caliber that we're dealing with. Because, I mean, if you look at the entire west coast of Florida, in 20 years, right? 20 years, we still don't have, I don't believe we've got one. If we do have, it is one player in the top 5 leagues in Europe who has ever played and ever been a squad member of any of those teams.
Well,
So,
yeah, the teams that he was looking at were Division II and Division III.
Yeah.
Colleges.
And they're the most likely, they're the percentile of likelihood for our kids playing. That's probably the way more than the other ones, and they were really brilliant. I thought the mix made sense, because if you really want to play, you want to talk to guys who really are looking for players, you know. Instead of coming and looking for Maradona or looking for another star, because those kids are already contacted. They've already been to the camps, their junior year or sophomore year in high school, and they're already got offers. The kind of kids we're looking for is we're really looking to make a rapport with 50 or 60 coaches from 2 and 3 to really place kids in programs where they really can play soccer.
Yeah, Jed, our showcase is going to be a lot different than what the CDL has. We're playing 7-a-side.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay, we're going to be playing 7-a-side across the field, and we're going to have we're going to target 48 players, 17 and under. Okay, so their CDL is showcasing 18-year-olds mostly, and they're playing full field, which I don't know. I've been to every showcase for the past 40 years, and it amazes me how any of these coaches can learn anything about a player when on a full field when it's a crappy game.
Why? Because there's not enough touches.
Sorry?
Because there's not enough touches, Greg.
Well, that's it. There's no decision making that has to be made, and there's no speed of decision making. There's no speed of touch and understanding.
Idea.
Because
so anyway, we know we got to come up with a date in March that looking at the CDL dates and looking at all our stuff, we got to come out with a blacked out date in March that we can hold the showcase where all kids will be available, or most of them. And we got 6 weeks to do that. So we're agreed on that. Let's just get that done, though.
Yeah.
Greg, if you would talk to both Mark and Kai, I think they had their, and maybe even Mike, all of them, I think will come to some number we got to.
Yeah, I'm sending an email to Kai right now because I know his dad's not well. I'm instead of calling him, and I'm just going to send an email to him.
Yeah. Perfect. All right.
All right, let me get the hoo-ha back up here.
That's the big, in other words, putting out those dates, the second group of dates, Sherry. Pretty simple, Sherry. Yeah, you there? Anybody looked at the second group of dates? That's the junior season.
I'm here.
Starts on the 14th of October and runs through the 20th of January. Sherry, that's pretty good 14 right there, don't you think?
I think so. See if y'all agree.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It is 14, right?
you're
I think it
knocking
is.
off on the 16th. What would
It
be the
is
next
14.
Yeah, all right, so the next will be the 23rd, correct? And that would be too close to Christmas, so that weekend doesn't make sense.
No, yeah, they'll
Okay.
reschedule
How
that.
about the Thanksgiving? You got that one. You got the one before Thanksgiving, right? The 18th.
Yes.
And we always plan that.
Whoa, Sherry. That's good. That's good planning there because Commissioners Cup starts the 27th of January.
I think I looked at that.
Yeah. We
That's
had
outstanding.
that,
Yeah.
Utilio sent us a pretty good outline of our dates, and I know Sherry was in
Yeah,
front of
very good.
Yeah, it helped having those ahead of schedule.
Man, does it ever.
Definitely.
All right, so those 14, we're good as long as we can't vote on anything, but we're all, the guys that are here, got as much reasoning power as anybody else. I think they're good dates. We just added some dates for the seniors, correct? We're all agreed on that.
Right.
All right.
And I'll get those posted so y'all can have them and,
Yeah. For the good of the game, Greg.
Well, Mike's not here. Apparently, the tour to I don't know where he's going to, Nottingham, is going to go forward. He got some players from the leagues. There was some interest from the league along with his kids and what have you. So, what I would propose for next year is that we do it as a league function, and then we don't have to scurry for kids, and we start doing that in November.
Or before even. I think you got to start planning stuff like that.
October, November, that time frame, because Christmas is a big time for kids to get presents, and relatives and whatever we'd be more than happy to dump a couple $100 to the kids instead of giving them a gift card. You know what I mean? That's the way we used to run our trips.
Yeah, I mean, there may be some clubs. Look, Greg, there may be some clubs besides ours. I know Mark has done it too because he's had some contacts who want to keep it within the club and have the kids in the club go. So if they want to do that, they want to do that. Nothing we can.
Yeah, I mean,
We're trying to sponsor something. I think USA for all the kids that don't have the wherewithal in their clubs to set something like that up. We'll make it available. If we can't get a minimum of kids, and that's just not going to.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that says that. Let's say Braid River wants to take a team in. And we got a composite team from the league. The two can go. That's great. The more the merrier, and the less expensive it is, actually.
Yeah, if we can tie it together, even.
You tie it together. The airfare goes down. Everything goes down.
But it takes a pretty good amount of coordination. It seems like the tighter the group, the easier it is to get organized.
It's going to depend on, how we handle it, which tour company we handle this through. Because the one I've been using for the past 20 years lets you put payments online, everything. They take care of everything, and they don't gouge you.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think we failed this year because of that. We failed because we didn't get enough people interested at an early enough point to have two of them, right?
Right, exactly. But this is a good tour. There's nothing wrong with this one.
I'm just saying maybe there's only 50 kids out there that really are our customer base for that, or the market.
Well, I know Alan and Cape Coral will have something else to say about that because I think what I'm saying is Cape Coral and you guys have a good girls program and some good girls teams, and I can put something together at the drop of a hat for girls as well. So,
Good.
And that's, I mean, I'm talking quality stuff too. So we'll talk about that when we get.
And Greg, if it ends up that you yourself are just enabling these guys to go, that's okay too.
That's fine.
Nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be necessarily a USA thing, although we can help.
Right.
Certainly, we can help with financing. We know that if they've got to come up with upfront money, we know we have that capacity. We have money to
We need to talk about that at the budget meeting, because the showcase is going to need some money budgeted.
Oh, it's fine. Well, we've been willing in the past to do that.
Yeah.
We spend it on referees. I mean, we haven't been afraid to spend money where it made sense. We just aren't pissing it away on trying to figure out how to spend money, you know. And, well, 15 years ago, I mean, they got in a situation where they got a little bit of a budget surplus, and right away they were trying to figure out how to get rid of it. You're not supposed to carry over huge amounts of money as a 501c3. However, you can do it because you can say it's for this or it's for that, and nobody, the IRS, could give a shit about the amount of money we're talking about.
Exactly.
$50 million, then they want it. Then they got some interest.
Yeah.
But I mean, the little pissant amount of money that we have could matter less.
I get less than you, and they're beating me over the head.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get moving. Let's adjourn. We're going to adjourn. We don't have to have a vote because we don't have the vote. We're going to executive committee. We'll just take two other subjects up and get out of here.
Yep. Game
We can't approve the minutes. We don't have any protests. We don't have any hearings. The referee fee, we will get that posted, and we will find it and post it again. The third.
I actually just went through the minutes, and I'm sorry, I don't see it posted in the minutes, Paul, but
What's that?
feel free to.
The new ones, we voted on them. I sent them out. We had them on an email that I sent.
It may have been just an email vote, but it may not have got entered.
No, we went over it. I thought we went over it in the executive committee. We went through it because we were discussing. Somebody said, "Do we have to give them?" There was some discussion about the amounts. Well, if it was the ARs, do we give them this? Do we give them that? So we were discussing it. It was Merritt and Mike. So that had to be in this format. I'm sure. Doesn't matter. We'll just redo it quickly. I'll get it up there. I'll just go back and get it. It's not hard to figure. I think we went up to 140 total in the. We went 70, 35, 35. And we went down $10. We went 60.
Click directly on the link.
30, 30. So
referee at the top. I'm sorry, excuse me. I could write on the word referee. It's right there. Sorry.
You're saying you think it's there?
No. I'm not saying the new fees are. He was looking for
I was looking for these here. Yeah. I think all we did was jack it up $5, Paul.
No, we went. I'll tell you. I mean, look at
the ARs. I meant.
We went 70, 35, 35.
70. What?
We went 15 to 19s. It was 70 center, 35, 35 for the ARs. Then it was 60, 30, 30, right? Then 50, right? 25, 25. That was the first three, 15s, 13s, 12.
Right.
And then I think we went 40. I'm pretty sure it was 40 for the center. In other words, so it went 70, 60, 50, 40 for the four.
Okay. Got it.
And what was the 11s and 12s?
11s and 12s was
25.
50, 25, 25, just like our 15s to 19s now. So it was a total of 140, 120, 100, and then $40 for 9110 for the 9s and 10.
And I know you can't vote on this, but we did talk about the assigners getting up to $10 instead of $7, right?
Yes.
Per game. Okay.
I thought we approved it too.
Okay.
we'll see if this helps. I mean, we still need to get the classes and everything else, but
I have a, well, we'll talk about that. I just have a hard time understanding why FYSA doesn't, put the hammer down on these clubs that don't hold their classes.
Even FYSA doing anything, and it's you've been dealing with them, Greg. If you've got a question about why they do things at this point, you got to be daft. I mean, didn't you have a meeting with 2 of them online? You never showed up.
Yeah.
Well, so that's what I'm saying. Why? What is it about FYSA that everyone thinks they're actually an organization that's trying to do something? I mean, they're not. And we've seen that over and over and over again.
Yeah.
They're just some guys collect the money. They don't know what they got. They have no central philosophy. They don't understand their customer base, and they want to hang on to all the power they can. They don't even know why or what it's for.
Yeah.
It's a sad organization. We finalized the game dates. Let's go back to the USA board members. We can't do anything tonight. We have 7 or 8 people we're trying to get in the mix, and we'll replace Brian at that point when we have a quorum and can settle in. But we've got, I know Les, the fellow in Charlotte, Wesley Chapel, someone in Plant City, and there were a couple more that we had. So as soon as we winnow them down, we'll appoint somebody in Brian's spot, but we have to have a quorum to do it, and also maybe add another guy on there. Well, we may lose Kai if he gets elected, which that'd be great. I mean, I'd love to lose him to the FYSA board.
Love to lose him.
Well, not from that point, but I'm saying him on the FYSA board would be fantastic.
I know, it's funny.
And the other thing,
I'm sorry to interrupt, gentlemen.
Yes.
Are we supposed to be here still, or can we?
yes, yeah. The executive committee is open also.
Okay.
There's nothing non-transparent in this thing. The only time we've gone off is for legal issues where we were had to discuss the lawyer's findings or whatnot. To me, that's the only thing we've got that should be non-transparent one. What we do's got to be. I mean, we're a member organization, man. We're only the members. And you weren't here, but I mean, we did have a time where the board of this organization started to think that they were the nobility in England during the 17th century, and they got confused that they weren't kings, and well,
All right.
it just got lost a little bit. So they looked at the membership as the peasants out there, and what are they screaming about now? They don't have any food, and that all ended about 5 years ago. And everybody, the board now, it was completely different. We've got some real depth as far as the people on the board, and all the guys that we're looking to put on the board again are all solid guys, rational people, and not looking for their own clubs or their own anything, And it's run, because of it, it's been smooth. We've gotten 99% of our games in with a relative amount of ease.
All right. You ready for L'Estrée?
What's that?
You ready for L'Estrée?
What's that?
Mexico and U.S.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
Yeah. So we're going to adjourn. We've got that done. We've got to still a little bit of work. We'll get those dates on there. Sherry, you have those numbers now on the referees, correct?
Yes, I have them, and I'll update the website.
Yeah.
And I just have a quick question. Do I leave Brian listed as a board member?
Yeah, because right now he still is.
He still is, okay.
We'll replace him as soon as we get a quorum. We've got, like I said, I think 7 people we had talked about. I did with Mike and some of the other guys. So we'll just a matter of replace him and then see if we want to get the next guy up, because Kai looks like if he runs for FYSA, he'd have to resign from our board also.
All right.
We can have at-large, we can have more at-large members if we needed it. The board size we got now works pretty good. It's pretty, I think we're at 7, correct?
Yep. Okay. Hey, I got the van. Am I picking you up?
What's that?
Right now, am I picking you up?
No.
Does
I'm good.
Angie?
You're not coming up there?
No. No, I'll tell you why, Greg. I start out tomorrow. I mean, I'm
I know.
15 hours a week, so
All right, I'm going for dinner
I
there, so.
can't start out crawling home at 12 o'clock.
All righty.
It's not a good night for that example.
Well,
No, I appreciate it though, Greg. I do.
no problem. All righty.
I get
See
set.
you, everybody.
All right.
Take care, everyone.
Next
Have a
month.
good evening.
Yeah,
Thank you.
See you.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
Also, let's start right this week. You and Sherry, but you more because you got the time during the day. Is to get every one of these clubs that are members now. To find like North Lakeland, we have a guy now that is our guy. The same thing with Juan. Let's get their contact information, good email addresses, good phone numbers. So as we move forward to the Regency AGM and to the AGM this summer, we've got a group from USA that has got some.
By the way, I put in my phone number on the chat, but I can.
All right, and Greg will get back. So what we're going to do is for like this, there is a Region C AGM, and it's right out in Auburndale.
Okay. And we usually attend those, so we should.
Yeah, because the more we get our voices at them, like this, the treasurer's coming, right, from FYSA. Well, we want to ask them. There's no transparency. We can't figure out what money goes in. Like our budget and our monthly expenditures are on our website. Ain't 1 cent that's anywhere else but on our bank statements, and they're right on the website. And that's the way FYSA should be the same way. Well, it's just this. So, all right.
And Paul, I was just going to mention for your information, when the club does the club affiliation form,
Yes.
then I automatically have all their emails and contact
Right.
numbers.
You know, we found in the past, and I'm not pointing at you because it wasn't you, but we went through this 3 years ago, and I demonstrated the two of them I was calling, and it was Alan and those guys. I was calling some phone that was out on, because they put down the
Oh,
phone.
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, the information is only as good as what's input,
That's
obviously.
right. But now we're going to force that information forward, like with North Lakeland and Bartow and Charlotte and Lee County and those guys.
Sure. Well, share that info with me, Greg, and then that way I'll make sure it's accurate on the website also.
Yeah, because those guys, you want to get right. If we need to, Sherry, we want to get to those guys, even though the president is this guy. Such and such is the guy that's really is really in the middle of the club, and that's the one we need to talk. You know, for even Braden River for years, we knew those guys.
Right.
But we knew who to call down there. We were never calling the contact on the list.
Right. You're right. You're right.
Those two kids. And so even I don't know what Elda puts for FCT, but again, if you just look at that, of course they're right. But a lot of these clubs, it's a perfunctory, someone's filling it in.
Yeah.
That isn't thinking everything through that we're going to really be communicating. It's just like a form where you got to get the phone number on there.
Right. That's true.
Not to minimize it, we're 500% better than we were, and we.
Yeah.
But let's get them all. Let's get them right now. We got time. Let's find out. I know at one point, not to extend the night here, but we were looking to Lee County. We couldn't figure out what was going on. We had a complaint. It took Greg 3 or 4 phone calls to finally figure out. He got to so-and-so. She said, you need to call so-and-so. We finally got to someone down there that really was in the middle of the mix.
Right.
One of these guys, either North Lakeland or Bartow or Auburndale, at one point had lost 2 presidents. You know, there were 2 presidents beyond what we knew. And we found out because we had an issue, we wanted to talk to them. So that's all I'm trying to, if we can, between now and the 2 AGMs, if we can have those guys, we can get proxies if they're not going to the meetings, and we can talk to them about what's coming up at those meetings that's important for us. Because the guys in Brevard that we contacted, we were now in touch with 3 of those leagues, and we'll meet again with them this summer. One of them was able to get all of the proxies from Brevard, and he said it took him 2 months of sending, because I said, how the hell did you do that? And but he has them all. In other words, here's a guy that's got 400 votes in his pocket. When he goes, he votes in our vested interest.